Hello, my name is Scott Rowland, and I am an informatics student. I am doing my interview for my final podcast. My minor is in political science, and I'm interviewing Jenny, and I will let you tell a little bit about yourself.
I am a senior in the informatics program. I am an informatics major and a political science major.
Thank you. So the first question that I would like to ask you is what technology you see playing a role in globalization?
I guess what I see is there's a lot of different technologies that play a role in globalization. Social networking sites play a big role. Twitter, Facebook have really changed that kind of stuff. Mobile technologies, really every sector of the economy is affected by technology in different ways. And so, the speed of computers, the speed of access to being able to talk to each other, the speed of access of which companies can collaborate across countries has changed the entire face of the economy really across the globe.
Okay, that's a really good point, and one that maybe if you could expand on a little bit. How computers and technology have increased the way that businesses can communicate across the globe.
Right, so the speed at which computers are able to work and the amount of information they're able to hold and the different programs that they're able to do allows people to outsource jobs or to collaborate with countries or with companies in different countries. It allows them to send different parts of their business to different places, and it allows them to really expand the horizons that they didn't have before. In the 20th century, they weren't able to collaborate with these people. It wasn't efficient to do that because communication was so slow, and now they can do that. So it kind of makes it more of a global economy, and that changes. Just the technology that has allowed that to happen has changed the rules for competition. And it's changed, really every economy across the world is looking at how to deal with that.
Okay. Another interesting thing that you said was social networking. How have you seen that play a role in globalization?
Social networking has played a big role in connecting people across different regions, and it has allowed for us to understand each other on a whole new level. And the way I see it working, I guess, with the economy is it allows people to reach each other in different places, businesses to reach people in different places, and to understand demographics in different places.
Okay. In one of your previous answers, you talked a little bit, and it sounded like there were some good points and some bad points. One of the bad points that you mentioned was an outsourcing of jobs. How do you see the technology actually affecting the outsourcing of jobs, and being also a political science student in addition to an informatics student, how do you see that affecting the workforce in the country where the jobs are outsourced from and to?
Okay, that's a big question. Well, I guess because of technology, you're able to have more automation, so you're able to have certain things done not by humans. So sometimes it doesn't matter who you have it done to. So in a country like the U.S., you don't necessarily need to have American citizens working on it. There's really no benefit to it. And so you can outsource your jobs to other places because a lot of the stuff that American citizens did not have anything to do with their status as being American or English speaking or anything like that. And so you're able to have machines do it now, and that's better because obviously it doesn't cost you as much. So the rest of that stuff, the running of the machines, you can take to other countries where it's cheaper to have people run it, and then, with the free market ideology, all the tariffs and stuff being taken away from different countries, NAFTA, you can ship that stuff back in for cheap, and so it ends up costing less money.
Okay. So that sounds like you're saying that it's bad for the American worker that lost their job, but it might be good for some of the other parts of the world that have the job shipped to them. It might increase their status of living a little bit.
And it might, and it could do that. it also is bad for some parts of the world, and it encourages some things that aren't so great. You know, if you look at the case of India, you have, you know, people who are able to work in call centers in India, and they're trained to have American accents, because that's something that's easy that they can do, and technology has allowed us to be able to do that cheaply. And instead, you know, this is a country where if you get to go to school, a lot of times they're very focused on sciences, which is one thing that, you know, America's lacking right now. But at the same time, you know, I actually read about a case where I think it was a girl, she was from India and she wanted to go to Purdue for engineering, but she could make good money staying in India doing the call center job. So instead of pursuing that, she dropped out, and so that's one, you know, less person actually contributing, and technology really, I think, had a factor in that. She had options that weren't necessarily great options, but because of technology and, you know, it costing less for the American company to have an American do it, she was able to take that job opportunity and not pursue her dream of being an engineer.
Okay. It also sounded like there was a good part. You talked a little bit about a collaboration of minds.
Mm-hmm.
How does technology affect that?
I think technology affects that in a lot of different ways. I think in one sense it allows people from different parts of the world to connect with each other.
Mm-hmm.
And in some cases that's a little bit difficult, but I think for younger generations it's becoming more essential, it's becoming easier, and it's a really great thing. And on the other end of that, technology has become almost like another universal language. It's something you can kind of understand, so everybody can understand technology and everybody experiences technology in a different way. And so when you have people coming together to work on technology, like, you know, even at IU, for example, the informatics program, you have people from all over the world coming together to work on technology, and because they've had different experiences with it across the globe, because it's kind of a universal language, they're able to understand it, but have different experiences with it and collaborate, and that makes for better creation for the future. But it also does make for a collaborated, you know, new collaborated things, which are going to be even more universal for the future.
Okay. So it sounds like technology and globalization are not going anywhere. What are some things that you would see that would be important to study or to do to make sure that technology and globalization continue in a way that is beneficial for most of mankind, instead of something that takes advantage of the poor, the weaker?
Yeah, I think that's going to have to come kind of from the ground up. I think right now corporations are using technology to kind of take advantage of people in other countries, and really to kind of bring down the standard of living in countries like, you know, our own westernized countries that have, you know, at least for the 50s and 60s, profited off of making, you know, good wages and just doing your job. So I really think that that's going to have to be kind of almost a grassroots thing, and I would say that the people in those countries are going to have to look for a way to do that themselves, I guess. We can't really help them until they want to be helped. So until they are not okay with what's happening with technology and globalization, there's not a lot that we can do, in my mind. But, at the same time, we can try to design technologies that make it more obvious, or that can help them, or that can help us. But I guess, is that kind of okay?
Yeah, that's great. Thank you for your time, and thanks for doing the interview.